shout out to Theo from the Do Better podcast for capturing and saving this video because Kendra knows she was wrong. Kendra G, the G stands for goofy. Because she completely dismissed this man's claims and his story about having been a victim of sexual assault. Let's check this video out. Thank y'all for watching.
Absolutely one of Kendra G's worst calls. And what makes it even worse than what you guys are going to watch right here is that she attempted to delete the live stream after getting all this criticism. This young gentleman, Poppy Dan, 1991, is going to explain how he was pretty much SA, and Kendra G does not believe him whatsoever. Shameful. Let's get into it.
Papa Dan.
Papa Dan.
Yeah, Papa Dan.
Papa Dan?
Yeah. It's my company, my business. But yeah.
Say
So I've been on your show before. Yeah, I've been on your show before, like back in 2022 when you first got
3 years ago.
Yeah, a little minute ago. Yeah. So then that was back when I was in Florida. I live in St. Louis now, so.
We've grown so much. We got the Kendra Cam, we got a dating app. So you want to do it again?
I'm here to try again. Different city, new people, you know what I mean? So let's go for it.
Let's go for it. What's your name, sir? You said Pop. So what am I going to call you?
You can call me Daniel, Papa Dan. That's
Daniel.
No.
Daniel, and you're in St. Louis now?
St. Louis now.
How old are you?
33, going on 34.
Okay, and what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Pisces, March 5th, baby.
Okay. Do you have any kids?
I have a son.
How old is your son?
He's gonna be 2. He's another Pisces, just like his daddy.
Why you not with the mama?
He's March 10th.
Why you not with the mama? You had a baby since you've been on my show too.
Yeah. Another person trying to run the system, try to take advantage, you know.
She raped you?
Yeah, you can say that. We won't, as a man, I can't really run with that narrative because nobody can really believe it. But yeah, I put it on the Bible that that's what happened. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm still an accountable adult. Still gotta do what I have to do in this world, you know, because that is my prodigy. So nevertheless, how he got here, that's what we doing.
I need the details of how you got raped by the girl.
How many times has Kendra G talked to women who've come up to her show and said that they've been assaulted in some type of manner? Name me the number of times when Kendra G says, hey, okay, well, explain to me your great mental note.
And that's so true. Every time a woman comes on to Kendra, she says, oh, I'm so sorry for what you've gone through. And then she just glazes on to the next situation. That's exactly what Kendra does.
She is not a citizen of America. So naturally, if you've been in America illegally, you know, you're going to try to do your best to try to stay. And in your mind and way of thinking, not even if you ask any of your homegirls that's international too, they'll tell you, ain't a good idea to just, go up, sleep with an American dude and just try to have a baby so you can try to stay in America, hoping he will marry you. That's what they be hoping they gonna marry you. No, they ain't gonna get ain't gonna get Papa Dan. No, ain't gonna get me.
Papa Dan, so I wanted to explain your side.
What's up?
With all that being said, you still have to willingly have, this is why I said, because that's the only way a woman could trap you. Right. But if you willingly had sex with her, then you participated. So did you willingly have sex with her?
I mean, she got me. I used to make wine back then. So like I said, on the level of accountability,
she Bill Cosby you? She gave you a pill?
For me, I can say on the level of accountability, you know, when a woman wraps their legs around you in the process of you being on top, and you trying to relinquish yourself from the situation, and she's saying, no, dude, you ain't going nowhere. You gonna have my baby. And in that moment as a dude, you're like, all right, well, shit, we gonna do plan B like we normally do. And then she looked at me like, no, we ain't doing that neither. So, you know, I was like.
Okay, so again, so she's letting you know all this in the act, and you still went through with it. So how was this?
He literally just explained to you, Kendra G, but Kendra G is one of those women who they can't fathom a man being taken advantage of. And let me throw this out there, because even when men are victims, like this gentleman is going to explain that he is, even when men are victims, men are still held accountable. We would never put a magnifying glass on a woman if she ever said she was assaulted. But as a man, I can say this, Papa Dan, you messed up by having intercourse with a low caliber woman. If she's just trying to sleep with you for a green card, she's not a woman of high character. And second of all, you should have wore a condom, bro. You would have had your rubber on when the time happened and she tried try to lock you in, because that's what she's saying, Kendra G. Because Kendra G's not the brightest bulb in the pack. You need to explain to her how sexual organs work. When he went to ejaculate, Kendra, what he's trying to explain to you is that she wrapped her legs around him and held him inside of her, which meant that the only thing that he could do is releasing her and then have her get a plan B in the morning to prevent said pregnancy. And she said she wasn't going to do it.
You know, women's right, her body, her choice.
And that is so true. And thank you, Theo, for clarifying that, especially for Kendra and anybody that's in her crew who may not understand either. But he definitely has to hold that L in regards to having unprotected sex with this woman. However, you know, Kendra is going to always side with the sisterhood in regards to this matter. She is going to find a way to disregard and discredit him and his experience.
Exactly. So here's the deal: her body, her choice, but you can decide not to put your body inside her body. That
Very
was your
well
choice.
so. And that's the level of accountability that I have in the situation. I used to be a winemaker. She got me drunk off my own supply. I don't ever drink my own supply. 13% alcohol content. She said, "Ooh, Daniel, come and drink this wine with me in the room. I'm gonna bring a glass." Well, I ain't trying to, you know, but my dumb self did what it did, and that's just the level of accountability I have for it. So here we are today, you know, trying to hope and pray we can find a wholesome woman that could treat your boy right. Somebody with some knowledge on her side that has been through the trenches and know how tough it is in this dating pool that got all the piss in it, you know?
Look at her face, bro.
All the work in progress
You
out
know,
here, you know?
When women come online and they give all of their standards or expectations or their outlook for dating, Kendra doesn't do that to the women. A woman can come online and have 7 kids by 7 men, and Kendra will still lie to them and be optimistic, okay? And say, men, y'all hear what she's looking for, right? Y'all need to come correct. That is exactly what she will do. And here she is looking at him like he's wrong for saying what he likes. Whether he gets it or not, that's something totally different. But this man has set up here and has explained his situation. We already know you're not listening to him, so you don't respect him. And he has taken ownership and accountability for the role that he played, even though he was essayed or he was taken advantage of. And yet she's looking at him like he's crazy, and she will sit up here and co-sign on all of the BS and the crap that women say.
Look at her face.
That's the story you really want to tell? So that's the story you really going with?
I'm going to say you put the words in my mouth when you initially said rape.
No, you were supposed to. I was, hold on. I was being.
What's that?
I said that. No, hold on real quick. I said that because you said a woman trapped you. So sarcastically, I said, oh, she you,
right?
And then you said yes.
Why would you sarcastically say that? I'm telling you, women like this, they can't fathom that women assault men. Women assault men every single day, just like there's piece of shit men out here who assault women. You can see that obviously one way with men doing it to women, but she can't see it the other way. Like you don't see women every single day being arrested for being high school teachers, getting impregnated by high school boys. This happens every single day.
You know what? A man can never be a damsel in distress.
Facts.
Because at the end of the day, we're supposed to be masculine. We're not supposed to have feelings. But in the whole light of the situation, when we had the pre-conversation about kids, I didn't want to have kids at that time.
So here's the deal, okay.
And let me say this, you know, this is why men don't report. You know that for sexual assault, we already know that yes, women underreport, but not nearly at the rate in which men underreport when they have experienced sexual assault, whether it's at random or if it's in a relationship or some type of encounter, but it is significantly underreported. So according to the CDC and the Prevention National Intimate Partner and Violence Survey, it revealed that only 1 in 71 men, that's 1.4% of men, have been raped during their lifetime, and about 1 in 21 men, that's 4.8%, reported being made to penetrate someone else. Okay. 2024 UNICEF report highlighted that between 240 million and 310 million boys and men experience sexual violence during their childhood. So remember, we're not even just talking about when you are an adult. And Theo just brought up how these teachers, and I've covered on my channel the amounts of adult women, professional women, or just adults who will take advantage of children. They will befriend boys just so they can essay them. I made this video and actually the audio didn't save. It has some mic issues, but I'm going to go back to this story. But there was a woman out of the Philadelphia area who had lured two boys to her home. They were about 12 years old, in the promise of paying them for shoveling and getting rid of the snow in front of her house. So she lured the boys into her home, and then she serves them hot chocolate that's laced with alcohol. They were able to stumble out of the home, and just so happened there was a police officer in the area, and they were there for something else that had taken place, and they seen these young boys acting weird. And when they walked up to them, they said that, hey, we had been over to this woman's house and she had gave them this hot cocoa, and they also admitted that the woman laced it with alcohol, and one of the boys left their coats in the home. So the police officer goes into the home and then confronts the woman, and then the woman gets taken into custody. So we forget that women are the perpetrators of SA against boys. But when a man is an adult and he's experienced it, now, oh no, that can't be true. If you're under enough alcohol or you are in certain positions, yes, a woman can in certain ways overpower a man and be the perpetrator and victimize a man. Let's stop playing.
If you don't want to have kids at times, then your responsibility is A, you don't have sex with her because you don't want to have kids. B, you wear a condom to protect yourself from having.
Kendra's pissing me off now because the way that she's lecturing to this man, I don't think I've ever seen Kendra lecture to a woman who has, 4 children by 4 men, 7 by 7, 10 by 10. She is never talking to them about, you have all these birth control options. How come you didn't utilize them and scrutinize these women's sexual behaviors? She never does that. But she finds it an opportunity to try to make this man the person that she wants to scrutinize on her show and put the hammer down. Your platform is majority women and majority single mothers. Many of these women who have multiple children by multiple men. Why don't you give this same lecture to those women? Can you do that, Kendra? No, you won't.
Having kids.
You don't have a background.
Grown folks, there is a grown folks pull out game. So my thing is, regardless of what she said, you are still a man that has to take accountability for participating in the activity.
I've already said, we can rewind the video, love. I've already taken accountability for the whole issue.
Which shows Kendra G is not listening. He literally said this minutes ago, but she's not listening because she's already has him tuned out, because there's no way in her mind that a man could be assaulted sexually.
So let's just do this then. Let's on record deny that you were because you was not.
She was there.
I'll just say, in a woman's eyes, no. But if I was to talk to a group of men and tell them what happened, it didn't happen to several.
This is scary. He is full of it. You have no authority to tell another person. Let this be the other way around. If this was a man interviewing or speaking with a woman and she explained, she had been a victim, but I told her, well, I think that you're lying. Because that's exactly what she's saying. I don't believe you. We need more people. Your personal account is not enough to solidify your claim. Therefore, I have to go down this rabbit hole of questions with you. I have to scrutinize you about your own personal experience. And I'm just going to flat out deny everything that you're saying.
Dudes, we just don't talk about it. These are like stories we don't tell. Crip stories we just don't tell. But at the end of the day, my perception is my perception of what really happened. Only I and the person that had the child that up and decided to be a single mother, because a lot of times, you don't understand, if there are women striving out here to be single mothers, they do not want men in the picture. And that is the thing in the Black community.
Hold on real quick.
What's that?
I'm not disagreeing with her intentions, right? Maybe her intentions were to get pregnant by you, to stay in America. There's no disagreement there.
Right.
The intentions of what you're describing could very well be true. The disagreement is you claiming to have been like, that's the disagreement.
Discrepancy wise, so I can give you so we can move on. I got drunk off my own supply of wine that I made, that I squished with my hands. You serve me wine, you force it down my throat, I get drunk. Now, every woman's story is that they get drunk and they get instantly the man is guilty, he goes to jail, lock away the key in the chamber of secrets. But like I said, in America, realistically, that will never be the man's narrative. And that's why hold on, let me finish. That's why
I'm not
gonna
let you finish, because I'm gonna let you finish, and I'm jumping in because
sure.
You are telling the wrong story. When those women are using the example of they have passed out, right?
So, no. First of all, how are you going to tell that man what happened to him?
It's good.
How in the hell are you going to tell that man what happened to him? You weren't there. And what Kendra G is trying to insinuate is that if you ever hear a story of a woman being with a man and having too much to drink, it's because she's passed out. She can't give his consent. That is a lie from the pits of hell. Women can turn around, have sex with a dude, had too much to drink, wake up the next morning and say, damn, well, I regret having sex with a dude. You don't have to be passed out unconscious. They can just say, hey, I regret having sex with a dude. That was great now, even though it wasn't great last night.
And Theo, we also know that whether the woman was drunk or not, depending on her motive from the get-go, she might lie and say that she was raped regardless, drunk or not. A woman will circle back and say that she was raped even though she consented to sex, but maybe she couldn't get the money out of the man, especially if he might have some money, or even if he's just an average everyday man. If he has something that she wants and she can't get it out of the man, she will say that she was raped. Or anything else that happens that she doesn't like, she will say that she was raped. She will lie on that man. It happens all the time, and it is scary.
Night when he was taking you to Pound Town, or there doesn't even have to be alcohol involved. A woman could just say the very next day or hours later after having intercourse with a dude, she could turn around and say, well, no, I take that back. It was great. Kendra G.
I did not watch this video all the way through, and I did not know Theo was going to even go to that point. But we are right there together on that point. Kendra, stop capping and caping for women and their behaviors. You are that far into the sisterhood that you just cannot see beyond your perspective. This is why if you're going to have a show like Kendra has, when you want to have both men and women, don't bring men up here when you are by default going to allow your biases and your preference to support women to overtake you having a unbiased conversation. I think she needs to not interview men anymore if she's going to have this same type of approach, because you don't even know every time a man calls on your show if he's going to have or share a similar type of experience or say something that doesn't fall in direct alignment with what you believe in. If you can't respectfully hear out another person's, their perspective, their situation, and you're going to just go full blast and just completely judge them in that way, to disregard what they're saying and call them a liar, you don't need to interview those individuals. Your credibility is shot. That's not journalism, Kendra.
You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. You ain't lied.
You're not a real journalist. You are a person up here on YouTube running your mouth, and you have a head full and a mouth full of bias, a heart full of bias up here talking to this man.
Is in certain scenarios that didn't happen. They're going to tell this man how he was assaulted. What?
So these are women that if they were drugged, they will say that they were not even coherent in the act of sex. They can't.
I'm telling you that I wasn't coherent.
No, you are coherent because you told me exactly what happened. You told me she was on top of you. You told me that.
I told you I was on top of her. She put her legs around me.
Either way, you are telling me exactly what happened in the sexual activity. So you were not. You were conscious. So you can't use that as an example. And conscious, only thing you can say is if you don't remember nothing, and then that will still be hard because then it'll be like, how did you have an erection? But long story short, you cannot compare yourself to women who have been drugged because these women don't remember anything. You can recite
quote unquote.
No, quote unquote. That's what I'm saying. She's saying that shit is different. It's a fact. And also, Kendra G, he can still get an erection even if he doesn't remember it or all the other excuses you're using.
Quote unquote, Kendra don't remember anything. Anybody can wake up from consciousness during the act of something and completely fall back asleep.
Kendra,
and when you go to court,
you are not that knowledgeable and that's not your background to try to make those type of claims. Please stop. Please stop acting like you don't know, though, in general, that many women have come forward after they have been in situations and they remember. So women are the only ones who can recall being taken advantage of, but men cannot, or vice versa. He's not allowed to recall something. And because you can't get with and you can't accept his story, and when I say his story, this is not saying he's lying, but she can't accept his experience. It doesn't align with her preferred narrative. It's just delusional to me.
Like I said, it's her word against mine. Like I said, Kendra, at the end of the day, I'm not here to stir no pot. I'm not on here to stir the Yaya Sisterhood, Traveling Pants Club. We ain't here to do none of that. We just here to see if there's any honest women out here that can understand their brother's situation.
Way better at hosting than
a lot of other brothers have been through the same thing I have. And I could be a bitter baby daddy, and I could be bashing her all over the world like most men would, but I don't have time to do that. I'm a progressive male. I done moved on with my life. She done got a whole nother man and is doing what she's doing. So for me, we can all we can do is be adults about any situation and move past it. If we can't work what we got out, move past it.
Babe, we're gonna move forward with the interview, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Only a goofy woman is gonna reach out to you.
Do you hear what she just said?
So when you were talking about, you gotta understand that type of woman is gonna hit you up. Any woman with any sense is gonna look at what you're saying about your ex and the child's mother and try to consider that as like, what the hell are you talking about?
Now, has Kendra G ever told any of these disgusting baby mamas who have 7 children by 7 different men on a dude that's 6'5" and make $500,000? Those delusional ass women, have she ever said, "Oh, you're only gonna get goofies that call you"? Let alone
facts, Theo, and we are right there. She has never told these women who has these astronomical requests and expectations, quote unquote, which they didn't have any standards or expectation for the previous men or baby daddies that they have, and they will show up on this show. She will never tell those women at the end of the call or during their conversation, "Oh, well, you're only going to qualify for, Pookies and Ray Rays, or men that are just like the men you were with and you have all these complaints about." Does she ever tell any of those women any of those things? Absolutely, she does not. Kendra has the most highest hopes for these women. Wish them well. Make sure they have all of her contact information and reinforces all of the qualifications that these women run through. He needs to make 100K. He needs to have his own business. He needs to be able to take her on trips every week, which she got 7 kids by 7 men in tow. Cut the crap, Kendra. You full of it.
Alone a woman who's called up and told Kendra G, "I was great." Because the minute that women go on Kendra G's show and say that she was assaulted, Kendra says,
"I'm sorry to hear that about you."
And it keeps it moving. It's never asked him to justify how she was great. What happened? And it gets worse, y'all. This is just the tip of the iceberg. It gets worse.
Right. And this is why certain words we just don't say. So jokingly, it was a joke to you. Wasn't a joke to me. I never nor laughed once about it.
It's funny to Kendra.
But nevertheless, you wanted to know more information about it. I have nothing to hide in this world. That's between me and God at the end of the day.
Well, so I want to say this again. Again, how I got there was because you said you were taken advantage of. That's why I said that. And then we went down this whole rabbit hole. I would have never said.
But Kendra, but you don't do that to the women. And you outright, you asked him that question because you in your mind and your own biases is, he is a man and men can't be taken advantage of. That's just point blank and simple. That's why you did it, because you didn't believe him out the gate. You looked at this man, you looked at him. He appears to be big in stature, and you and your own biases, and he is a man, not a woman. By default, you say, "Oh, taken advantage of? Oh, I need to know more because I don't believe you. You need to give me the information to let me know and determine whether or not everything that you said you went through qualifies as a person that's truly been taken advantage of." Where we know when women call into this show, when they mention any form of abuse, right? A woman could be abused by a man and have 7 kids by this man. Did you ever go back and ask the women anything about, well, if you had 7 kids with this man and he was abusing you, why would you do that? You don't do that, Kendra. Cut the crap. You just take everything that they say at face value, and you didn't offer him the same grace. And now here we are. That's why he told you that. Stop the crap.
Claims have been taken advantage of.
I honestly don't feel like it's neither near here nor relevant to my decision making, how I conduct myself now. That was then, that this is now, this is present day. I mean, I don't know what more you could really want from me in that particular situation. Whether I get a goofy woman or not, I think everybody is goofy until proven not goofy. So
okay, fair enough. What happened? What's the narrative?
There's no narrative about me getting anything like that. I don't, like I said, as a man, I just tell people I have a kid, and that's all the end of the story. But
the only reason why we went, if we used to write
a comic book like we in the classifieds, that's what it would look like. You know what I mean?
No, it wouldn't. It actually wouldn't look like. Whenever you give consensual sex, it's not. And according to us, what you have described was consensual sex.
Lord, no, according to you. That's what you're saying. Not according to us. Don't speak for the audience, because remember, Kendra G took this video down. And the reason she took it down was because her chat was telling her, Kendra, you're wrong. And it was women, not just men. It was women saying, Kendra G, you're victim blaming. So don't act like you make it a determination for all of us. It was your opinion.
You described the act of sex. She told you what was going on. You are 6'4". There's no way you can't get a woman off of your body if you did not want her on your body. So to claim rape as the man of your stature, no one's gonna believe that.
Right. No, Kendra, you're not gonna believe that. And let me ask you this: if it was a 500-pound Shirley saying that she got raped by a 150-pound dude, is Kendra G gonna say, "Oh, you're bigger than him. You should have got him off you"?
Nope. It's good.
Of course she would.
That's what I'm saying. You see, how you see, man. God rest the Godfather, man, because he don't understand what I'm saying, man.
Rest in peace to the Godfather.
That's all I'm trying to say. Wouldn't nobody believe that narrative, which is why I don't spew it. It's not even a joke. Exactly. It's not even ha funny. So at the end of the day, I still have a child. Still got to take care of him. Got to deal with baby mom. Got to live my life. Just like she living hers, all happy and cuddled up with her new dude. I'm trying to get me a new boo. We about to come out of this hibernation season, and I'm trying to be prepared for summertime.
Facts. And this is quite disgusting, and I know that Kendra knew she was foul AF for what she did, because if she didn't, and I don't even think that she thought she was foul. The reality is that she couldn't take the heat because she was called out by men and women. She pulled that video down. Kendra should have kept it up. You felt so strongly about this man's message, this man's experience. You were the expert in his own experience, in his own life. Therefore, you should have stood 10 toes down, Kendra, on what you said, and took your public criticism like we all have to do as creators. And I think that, hopefully you will learn from this, but also hopefully you will develop and improve your interview skills, and you keep that same energy for the women that come on your platform. But we know you won't, because you have no ounce of integrity. You're too worried about zodiac signs instead of asking women the most important and hard-hitting questions, or calling them to task about their behaviors, in which that, and you should know that any good man, like a good man like Papa Don here, the questions that really matter, you're not going to ask, and you're not going to call them to task. And so instead of you taking your L like we all have to, or accepting the fact that everybody is not on your side, especially with how you berated this man publicly on your own show, you need to keep this up. But you are dead wrong, Kendra. Belittle him. You tried to diminish his experience, and you basically victim blamed him. And we know good and well, if it was a woman up here, a woman would not receive that type of rating, that type of disrespect, that type of questioning, trying to humiliate this man, because you already formed your own bias about him, and you allowed that to dictate how you were supposed to run this show, which is you're there to help these individuals hopefully meet and make a connection. But that wasn't your agenda. You were solely focused and honing in on what this man did, instead of just listening to what he said. And even if you would have given him a little bit of feedback, which he already owned and accepted his part of the responsibility, but you just could not let it go, and you just cannot wrap your mind around the fact that this man was taken advantage of.
Okay. That part.
So I think that if you are a man, don't go on there. Remove that app. Do not pay for anything that has to do with Kendra G. Do not support what she does. I think that you all should boycott her, just like they want to tell you to boycott for DEI. Boycott Kendra and her app as a man. Because if you were a man up here and you had to be called out about your experiences, she may very well call you a liar too and try to berate you and want to, go through every line of questioning, try to help you qualify and give credibility to your own experience as if she was there, or as if that is needed for the women guests who are on her show. But let me know what y'all think. Kendra, you was foul as F for that. And the Kendra G, the G stands for goofy. You couldn't even stand on what you said. You said it with your whole chest about how you belittled this man and you did not believe his experience. You should have kept that same energy and kept your video up. So let me know what y'all think about this conversation down in the comment section. Until the next video, peace, y'all.
If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, God damn it, I'm not.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch.